What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself, and today is the debut of Rewrite, which I believe is a visual novel. These are from the channel Shero Riani. I have 3 songs for you today: Radiance, Scattered Flowers, and Scene Shifts There. No context on these, requested by Anthony. Thank you very much and appreciate your patience. These are, well, I don't know anything. But you know what? I will say that visual novel music has been surprisingly good. It's really unpredictable because it's just text. But don't know who made this, nothing, composer, etc., etc. That's it. Radiance is the first one we're starting with. Piano. Oh, I love vocal synths, man. Left speaker. Same rhythm on 2 different speakers, but 2 different things playing. Dun, 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 dun. 4 instruments. I don't know why. I'm just gonna say it. For some reason, this song reminded me of like a birthday. I have no explanation. Just it sounds kind of just like a reminiscent birthday memory. I have no clue why. It sounds youthful, you know? It sounds like we're thinking back into our past or something. A lot of movement in the song. Oh, it starts, or it ends the way it starts. Before I move on to the other songs, just curious, since I've never played a visual novel, have I? I don't know. I don't think so. Anyways, you have to excuse me, but when you hear these songs, do you usually hear the whole thing like that? Because I'd have to imagine when they're creating the visual novel, they make the text last as long as the song is. But then how do you account for people reading very quickly or very slow, you know? So would you say on average, this plays in just the amount of time that it gives you to read it? Or do you end up only hearing a little bit of it? That's what I always think when I hear visual novel music is, let's say people just kind of right through everything. And they only hear maybe 60% of the song. That's kind of a devastation, right? You have to go hear the soundtrack outside of the game. So that's like my main thought. But to me, that sounded like, I mean, yeah, it was emotional, a lot of piano. But to me, for some reason, I don't know why, I like to just make guesses, right? And my guesses can be, they're a guess. They can be completely dead on. They can be completely off. And they can be totally random. But I'm always going to say like what pops into my head. And for some reason, when I hear piano like this, I think of sort of a flashback memory, but a specific one, and that's like birthdays. I don't know why. But I can just imagine, hearing that music and then, blowing out the candles and then seeing like a time lapse of someone's life go by or something. I'm not sure what Radiance is describing. Does it say the composer? Oh, it does. So it's from Visual Arts Key, arranged by Soshi Hasoi. Okay, let's move on. We have two more from the same game. Did we call them games? Like, is that a proper? I mean, yeah, they're games, right? Scattered Flowers. Now that sounds pretty. I don't know how to feel about that. My brain goes to two places: wedding, death, or both. This is Scattered Flowers. Or love, right? Putting flowers across. Oh, also this could be a adult visual novel too. I didn't even think about that. Maybe it is. I'll look it up after the songs. If this comes in with a beat, I'm gonna fall in love with it. It's setting up for a really cool beat with this melody. Please have a beat. It's okay if it doesn't though. A very somber tonality. More of that, more of that, more of that. Oh, I love this like 80s sounding synthesizer. Clean my monitor. I feel like percussion is building slowly. I love how the signal is so dragged out. Meaning the keys aren't just like dun, it's like doo. Hey, a beat's a beat. I'll take it. This could easily be like a good hip-hop beat. If it was faster. The emotions are high. Kind of sounds like Toho. Slow down. Whoa. Okay, before we go on any further, that last part sounded a lot like Toho, but like slow down. It's gonna mess with the mood of the song, but I'm gonna max this out. Let me know, Toho fans, you hear what I hear or no? Oh, scattered flowers. That it could mean a lot of things, but I think of a wedding or death, and to me, I think overall I'm going to go with, which is a very vague one, but I'm going to go with love, and love can go anywhere. That can be life or death. That could be celebrating life. That could be celebrating death, I guess, or mourning. So I really like the type of percussion that was used. It was very soft and elegant, but also the piano going from the lead to the dual violins, that was really nice. So I can only imagine that I feel like whatever Rewrite is about, the overall thing is emotion. I don't know if there's any tropes in visual novels. I don't know if there's a reoccurring common storyline or one that gets used a lot type of thing. But the reason I'm asking is not because they all sound the same, is because they do sound quite different. I've heard stuff from Muv-Luv, I think, Pester Quest. Those are all way different. And now this is just, hitting on that pure, like, tugging on your heartstring thing. So, okay. After this one, then I'll read more about it. But right now, I just have this one image to go off of. Also, I don't know if any of these songs have anything to do with each other, or if they play next to each other, or where in the soundtrack they are. They were requested at way different times too. So, this is the last one. Scene shifts there. Don't know what that means, but here we go. Piano's definitely a thing. Just an observation, they're all giving me the same feeling though. They all sound sad. This is a gorgeous soundtrack. I don't mean this in any sort of derogatory way, but you could show this to your grandparents, and they would fall in love with it. It's just good music, have the Wikipedia pulled up. A marching drum. That's different. This sounds more like a send-off. This song sounds very... I'm reading the synopsis. Oh, there's a lot of composers for this. This visual novel just punches you in the gut, doesn't it? Very beautiful stuff. I can tell that the composers were on the same page because I thought that was one person. But the first one was Soshi Hasoi. The second and third were Ryoto Mizusuki. In not a bad way, I would have guessed that was just one person. There's quite a bit of composers. I see 5. So I heard some interesting information I read some interesting information from this. This was the developer's 9th game. So I wonder if I've done anything else from them. They're called Key. They seem to know what they're doing. It sounds like it. It sounds like they've developed already their prowess. So the gameplay in Rewrite follows an interactive, branching plot line with multiple scenarios and focuses on the player character gaining the favor of the 6 female main characters. Gaining the favor? There are additional minigames and quests added into the gameplay which are necessary to complete the game. The game ranked as the best-selling PC game sold in Japan for the time of its release, and charted in the national top 50 twice more afterwards. There have been 5 manga adaptations based on Rewrite published by Asi Media Works and Ishijinsha. Comic anthologies, light novels, and an art book were also published, as were several music albums. A 24-episode anime television series adaptation produced by 8-Bit and directed by Motoki Tanaka aired between July 2016 and March 2017. Damn. So here's a question that I don't think I've asked before, and it just came to me upon reading that. Are visual novels just like way bigger in Japan? I feel like I should know this answer, but if they put this as the best-selling PC game at the time, and then it was in top 50, and then had all those things branch from it, damn. This makes me wonder how... I don't know. Every time I hear and see stuff like that, it just reminds me. Here's one thing. It's one of these factoids that you hear and it makes you think forever. I forgot the exact statistic. Let me look it up actually before I spread misinformation. All right. So the fun fact that I was trying to think of was the United States, for example, is 4.22% of the entire world's population, which I remember I heard that and just kind of froze in time. You know, everything I know, everything that whatever. all these thoughts and memories and 3 decades of whatever, and seeing how the world developed in the 70s, 80s, 90s, color TV, everything, every memory I've ever had, a lot of that boils down to 4% of the world's population. When I think of stuff like that, it just kind of like hurts my head, and basically tells you like the world is just a whole lot bigger than you. You're this, not even that, and that's just Earth, right? Not even the whole galaxy. Anyways, so when I experience stuff like this, I get a window into other parts of the world, you know. So yes, I'm aware that there's a lot of games that are probably more popular in this part of the world or that part of the world, and it's just fascinating to me. It's fascinating to just the other day. This is true. Someone asked me, they're like, how did you not know about Portal 1 and 2? That's like asking if, you know, whatever, you know, some popular thing. And in my head, I'm like, not everyone has lived the same life that you have. Especially on this channel, right? This whole channel is that of someone who's been kind of living amongst all this stuff and hearing it for the first time and experiencing it for the first time. And it just made me think of, man, there's just, I guess just some people can't comprehend the fact that not everyone has lived your life and just all these things around you exist. So when I got into visual novels, that's when I first started to open my mind a little bit more onto other stuff. For example, very recently I started to allow mods on this channel. I never used to do mods. It was always official, and it's still kind of a tricky subject, but you know, I was basically more open to it. When I first heard a visual novel song, I don't know what it was. I can't remember at the moment, but you know, I just thought it was a video game. Until later, people were like, "Oh, this is actually just a visual novel," and you know, even then, I've just been constantly opening my eyes and ears to different things. And what I'm getting at, basically, is this is what the reaction I'm getting from these songs are, by the way, is that there's just so many things out there that I've yet to experience, that we've yet to experience. Beautiful music across the world that I probably would never, ever, ever come across. You know, like, I'm over here thinking it's some niche thing, it has 400,000 views. It was the best-selling game in Japan. Like, I don't know. It's times like this where you just feel like you're just a minuscule pebble in the universe. And those are really great. Those are really great. I don't know what's going on here. I don't know if you guys can tell me what's happening without spoiling, but clearly Rewrite is a big deal, and it's probably a bigger deal than I think. Maybe this will have like way more views than I don't know, but there's emotion here, and there's a lot of passionate storytelling through its music, and that's really impressive. So let me know whatever you want about Rewrite, about visual novels, about life. Oh, America's only 4% of the world's population. Okay, well, those were all great. I liked them all. I love piano, so I'm heavily biased, but they all sounded to me like just pure memories, reflection, and perhaps loss. So anyways, thank you to the requester, and thanks to everyone you see on screen. I couldn't be here without them. Thanks for making me think about my life. It's always fun when that happens. Thanks you for watching. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Later.